Reunion or just a Saturday getaway? Roscoe's Tours is waiting to book your travel today. Local and distance trips, clean, reliable buses ready to go. Call Roscoe's Tours today at 404-304-5600. That's 404-304-5600. Roscoe's Tour Buses. Macon and Middle Georgia. WDDO The Glory 980 AM and Middle Georgia Informer newspaper has partnered together to bring you a one-stop media buying experience. Call them today at 478-501-0408 or 678-800-3976. They're here to support businesses, churches, and your ministries to maintain your operation during COVID-19. Give them a call today at 678-800-3976 or 478-501-0408. WDDO, The Glory 980 AM and Middle Georgia Informer is here to offer you affordable advertising packages to promote your products and or services. Give them a call today at 478-501-0408 and get started on your one-stop media buying experience. The Glory.
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB.
Macon and WDDO 980 AM Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Am I supposed to not? Right.
You know, phone working.
Ask Elaine, where to ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, where to ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, where to ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, where to ask Elaine.
Well, it's Wednesday. Y'all know that when you hear our voice, that our voice says that it's Wednesday and you're listening to Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, welcoming you to the show. And we have a returning co-host, Mr. Charles Ernest Richardson, who is the retired editor of the Macon Telegraph, among other things that he's doing. And last week he was our special guest, and we got a little caught up on some education things, and some people told me that I talked a little bit too much last week, and my guests didn't get a chance to share all that they had for us. So today, we've invited our guest back, especially Mr. Richardson, and he agreed to come back, and we're just so pleased. We're going to talk about some local, state, and national issues, which was the main reason for bringing him on, but he's also well-versed in education issues. And while at the Telegraph, wrote a number of articles, and gave us plenty of information to have us thinking about education and the direction that we need to go in. I first want to welcome you once again. I want to thank our sponsors. And if there are others who are interested in helping to keep Ask Elaine on the air, if you would just contact me. We are at the point of needing to have sponsors, so we would appreciate it if you're interested in helping to keep this news and information program on the air. We want to express our condolences. There's one family, sometimes, Charles, when you think that you're down and depressed and there's so much happening to you, and you say, why me? And we go through all of the stuff, and we do say, why me? You know, oh, woe is me. But the Hutchings family dealt with the death of a brother, son, doctor, leader in the community just a week
A
or
week
so
ago,
ago. And now, Mom, my sorority sister, one of our Delta Deers, has gone on, and in that from that family. And so Betty Hutchings has passed away, and she's truly one of the icons in this community.
sure.
One who was involved for years and years and years, not only through the family business, but as a member of the Pardon and Paroles Board, which is a very, very powerful
Yes, it is.
position. And she did some things while she was there. She made an impact. And so we want to express our condolences to the Hutchings family. And we just can't express enough how sorry we are that you're having to deal with these things. And then we want to say to all of those other families, Charles, that are dealing with the loss or illnesses and things like that, we want to say to you that we are so sorry that you're having to deal with those things. And we hope that our prayers will help to lighten the load that you're carrying. And so let's all just pray for each other. Y'all pray for us, because we don't know what's gonna happen
right
in
around
the
the corner.
next minute, the next second. You just don't know. Here today, gone tomorrow, which is really, really true. So we just encourage people to take care of those things that you need to take care of. Tell those that you love that you do love them, and show them that you care for them. We take people for granted, and then when they leave, we try to fall in the casket or over in the burial plot with them. It's too late then. Let's do it now. If it is working with our children more, let's do that.
Right.
Because children leave us early as well. Many of you understand what I'm saying. If it's our elderly and you have not done all that you needed to do or say to them, please go ahead and do that. And by the way, we want to welcome those who are with us on Facebook Live. Thank you so much. And we'll call out those names in just a little bit, but we appreciate your tuning in and your comments, as well as those who are on 980 AM and those who are on 107.9. Thank you so much for being with us. But Charles, did you want to add anything as far as
the one thing that the word that comes to mind when I think about Betty Hutchings is encourager. She encouraged everybody around her. She may not have known what you were going through or what you were doing, but she always encouraged you.
Always smiled and always told you that you could get through things. And I watched her when I became a sister in the sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority. And by the way, she was one of our charter members of the local Macon alumni chapter, and just is revered by all sorors of Delta, and we're all saddened by her loss. But she was so encouraging. And I remember the last program that I attended with her, I think it was a Founders Day program, and she and the other Delta Deers, the older members and the founders of the local chapter, were there. And I remember Betty saying, don't wear yourself out. Don't work yourself to death. She was busy. She was basically saying, we work and we work and we work and we work. And we've got to stop and take stock and take care of ourselves. So she always had some good advice for all of us, and her words were wise. She was wise and always caring. And so those of you who are on Facebook Live, if you would share, please hit share so that you will remind others that we are on, that Ask Elaine is on. This is your news and information program for the week. It is Wednesday. It's 3:00, and you know what time it is, and you know where you should be at that time, because everybody always picks up some information, something that they didn't know. And so we want to talk a little bit about several topics today. One of them, first one, Charles, is trash. Trash.
But not trash talking, just trash.
Not trash talking, but trash. You know, that stuff
in
we
the garbage
throw
can.
away. Yeah, that hadn't been picked up like it was supposed to. And I know you've had that problem. Everybody's had that problem. But I'm happy to say that help is on the way. Macon-Bibb County has employed a couple of other companies that are going to work to get us caught up. And so I was real happy that the mayor and his administration went ahead and dealt with that issue because one of the things that people expect to have happen, if they don't ever ask for anything else, they expect that trash will disappear.
Right. Every week
when it's supposed to. And so the system is being put in place where not only will all of that stuff disappear, but there will also be convenience stations set up around the county where if you have stuff, metal, mattresses, sofas, all of that kind of stuff, cardboard that you want to take and put in different bins at these convenience stations, you'll be able to do that. And that's going to help a lot with people who are just avid recyclers who want to, get rid of stuff, not a pack rat like I am. I don't throw anything away. So
well, that's some of that stuff you throw away, I know.
Well, yeah, some I do, but I keep too much. But anyway, that's a couple of the things that are being done, and you'll be seeing over the next few days how this plan is going to work out, how it's going to impact you. And please know that we are all working and very committed to making sure that your garbage gets gone, that your household garbage, your waste, your yard waste, your recyclables, all of that stuff, that there will be a place for it. And eventually we'll get caught up. One of the problems with it has been the company that we contracted with.
I was going to ask you that question. If these other companies can find folk to work, what about the one that you contracted with?
Well, what happened was a lot of those folks with COVID, the folks left, some didn't return. But what was happening, some people were trying to say that the folks were getting unemployment and they didn't want to come back to work. Well, we found out in a few cases that might have been true, but the major thing was that all these other companies were offering $5,000 and $10,000 signing bonuses for these folks to go to work with them. So this company was training them, but the other companies were stealing them. And
it's a free marketplace.
There are a lot of companies now that are offering signing bonuses. I think some of the food places, some of the
McDonald's, $100 signing bonus.
Yeah.
And for those folk out there with a CDL license, they are looking for truck drivers for almost everything. One of the reasons our gas prices have gone up is because there's nobody to bring the gas to the stations. So
shortages mean
higher
prices go up. So I would encourage anyone who has a CDL to look at because folks are offering all kinds of money. And the other thing too, the Port of Savannah is being dredged so that port is able to handle larger ships.
They're called super
when you see those ships, the part that's above the water is like half of what's down under the water, where you have all the goods and the cars and the grains and all of that stuff down in there. And so because there are additional things, larger amounts of goods being brought into the Savannah port, there is a greater need for more trucks and more truck drivers. And so that is a growing field. It's one that's not going to change. And we need to say thank you to Senator Lucas one more time for making sure that we got that interchange, that money pumped in there, so that whether they name it after him or not, it doesn't matter. It's going to forever be, for me, the Lucas interchange. And he was able to keep that money in place so that we could get that interchange enlarged, expanded, so all those trucks can easily flow through here, getting our goods and to us.
And to explain a little more, these super carrier ships are the length of 5 football fields. And a football field and a half wide. And they carry so many containers, you just can't, they can count them, but we can't count them.
Yeah.
And all those containers have to come off the ship. They've got to go on trucks and they've got to go someplace.
Right. That's right. That's right. So, and stuff comes through Macon. So we need to be on top of this. We need to anticipate all of this and take advantage of this. Which brings me back to one of the topics that we're going to talk about, and that's jobs. Now, there are a lot of jobs.
A lot of jobs, and people are paying.
People are paying. So why aren't more Maconites, Bibb County folks getting the jobs?
Well, I think, first of all, this is going to sound very cruel and bad.
But it's probably true.
We can't pass the drug test. And we don't know how to get up on time, get dressed, and get to work on time and do what we're supposed to do.
Right.
Now, that can be easily solved. Get up, get yourself dressed. If I could guarantee you that if I left this studio today at 4:00 and I wanted to go to work somewhere, I'd be working by 4:15.
Me too.
Yeah, easy.
Me too.
Easy.
Because I could go. I'd fill out all the information. I could provide my birth certificate as wrinkled up as I could pass my drug test.
Yes. And you know how to get up. You were a teacher for decades. You had to be there before the kids got there, and had to be there after they left.
That's right.
And then go home and do more work.
Those skills don't change. The basic skills that you have to have, the soft skills of knowing how to dress, knowing how to present yourself. That's why I say it's so important that you know your basic grammar, your basic English, that you know basic reading, that you know the basic math skills and the basic writing skills. And along with that are how to introduce yourself and look someone in the eye, and how to shake hands. Well, now we bump. You got to be careful with that now. No more shaking hands. But, you've got to know how to greet somebody. You've got to know to put your phone, turn that phone off when you're in the interview, so that your phone doesn't go off with the barking dog on it, or the cat meowing, or the cow mooing, or whatever
it might be.
Have you ever been in a wedding or a funeral and someone's phone went off and it's a barking dog, or it's a
more times than I can even count. It just I'm embarrassed for them.
Me too. Yeah, because they don't seem to be able to get to
they
it.
Can't find it. They can't find it.
It's not funny because it's somebody's wedding that you're ruining.
Right.
Because they're taping this thing and they're in the middle. The dog barking, or at a funeral service.
It's worse at a funeral service because, everybody there is in mourning. That's why they're there. They're there to pay respects to the families. And then the phone goes off. And many times it goes off after they've told them to put their phone on mute.
Yes.
So
it's a be polite. So there is a certain etiquette that we have to start adding to all the other things that we have learned to be respectful of other people. And we tell our students at EL High School that when you are starting to getting ready to be a high school graduate, that with that carries citizenship requirements too. That not only are you a registered voter and you frequent the library to see what they have there and use that, but also you got to learn about that phone and making sure that it doesn't go off in the middle of your most important life experience.
And kids seem, well, it's not just kids, but adults too. It seems that it has become part of their hand. And they have to glance at it every few moments just to see that their hand is still there. And there's nothing that won't wait. It just won't.
And we need to encourage parents to place some limits on the game time. The studies are showing, they're doing studies on children now, and it's just showing that children's attention is being impacted. So when they go into the classroom and there's not blinking lights and all kinds of stuff, then they lose interest in that, and they can't afford to lose interest in that. And part of that is from TV and all of these games that children, and the kinds of games too.
My grandson used to play something called, or try to play something. It was a Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah.
And I made it a rule that I'd look at the game with him, but I had to turn that sucker off for about 10 seconds because there were about 8 cuss words in there he did not ever need to repeat.
And so many killings, and it tends to make children feel that nobody dies, nobody actually on these because they see them in the next level of the game, so they really didn't die, but people actually do die, and that carries over to guns, real guns, and other weapons that it makes our folks feel like that really is not real, that you just go to the next day or to the next level.
And when you find some of these people, when they find out it is real, they're down at the law enforcement center. Wondering, when am I going to get out? Maybe never.
Because the criminal justice system is warehousing our folks. They're warehousing our folks, and we have got to figure out how we keep our young men, especially, and more young women, out of that system, because a lot of times when they go in, they don't ever get out, and if they do get out, they end up with so few opportunities as far as a job and other kinds of things until they go back. They go back to that. And so we've got a lot of things that we need to work on. You don't have to listen to what we're saying. You don't have to believe what we're saying, but we aren't just sitting up here saying stuff just to see our lips move. We are serious about this, and we've got years and years of experience, and we have studied these situations, and we are trying to provide the kind of information that you need. Cynthia Searcy is with us today, and Amzie Robinson is with us. Reverend Randall is with us, and Sherry Shannon Miller is with us. And they all say good afternoon, Charles.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Juanita Williams, Edith Newsom is here. And let's see, who else do we have? Eloise Jefferson Hall. They're all with us on Facebook
Thank
Live.
You for joining us.
Please hit share to remind those folks who were asleep in the recliner that Ask Elaine is on, and we're talking education and politics and all kinds of interesting things. If you want to call in, Our call-in number is 478-250-1444. And here again, we want to just compliment the folks who are here at the Glory. We just appreciate them so much. 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, historic WDDO, and Apostle and Bishop. We want to thank them and all the other staff people here for giving us an opportunity to come to you each Wednesday at 3:00 and share some of the things that are important, that we feel are important for our lives. Books and the ballot. I always say books and the ballot. You get your books, they can't take it away from you. And they have a hard time fooling you.
Right.
They have a hard time scamming you.
There's no rope-a-dope here.
The ballot, once you get it, as long as you use it, there is nothing. And these new laws that have been put in place, let's talk about that. These new laws that the states are putting in place, there's a way for us to overcome. We know it's voter suppression. We know that the attempt is too many Black and brown and young folks voted, and you put Democrats in office. The Republicans want to stay in office. They want to have all of the power over you. So they tell you what to do and what not to do and when to do it and how much to do and all of that. So we know all that.
Yes, we do.
But we also know that where there's a will, there's a way. And there is nothing that's going to stop me from voting.
Nothing at
Not
all.
anything. They don't have to let folks bring me any water or anything.
I bring my own.
But I can bring my own, put it in my pocket, and bring my own little snacks. I'll put it. We women have plenty of places we can put stuff, and you guys do as well. And so you bring your own. You figure out a way that you say, I've been dadgum if I'm going to let them keep me from voting. They can try everything they want to. I'm still going to vote.
And what we have to be aware of is that we can overcome most of the stuff that they're putting in there.
Yeah.
We can overcome it. All we have to do is be committed to that vote. I don't care whether they make the mail-in voting 1 week. I'm going to make sure that I follow the rules to get it in.
Exactly.
The one thing that I am troubled about more than all the other stuff is that even after we vote, they've set up a way so they can steal our vote.
Right.
And that's when you have a Republican-controlled legislature, and all they have to do is find one county, replace all the folks in that, and then they count how they want to, and you can bet that county is going to be full.
Right. That's right. And the other one of the others will be Bibb, because Bibb has a history of voting Democratic.
Right.
And in strong numbers. So they'll be. Now that bothers me too. That is why I am hopeful that our federal government will be able to pass something. And recently, the Justice Department is intervening and suing Georgia, and it's probably going to sue some other states.
Arizona.
So we have some allies. We have some folks that are working with us. NAACP, ACLU, all of these, New Georgia Project, Fair Fight, all of those, Stacey Abrams, they're all working and they're all suing on our behalf. But we have got to do what we can do. And that is, you make sure that your registration is together.
Right.
And you make sure everybody in your family is registered. And you make sure that all of your neighbors, all right, you can be a committee of one and do a lot yourself. Don't think that you can't do a lot by yourself.
Well, we have evidence.
Yeah.
We saw what happened with the turnout in November, then again in January. We came out to vote, and we voted people in office who we thought should represent us.
That's right.
We did it.
Right.
And now that we know that we can do it, we can
do it again.
We have to do it again in 2022.
Right.
Because that's the Republicans, quite frankly, are hoping that we don't get our act together by 2022.
Right.
Because they know if we do, they're dead ducks.
That's right. That's right. They're gone. We're going. Not only will we keep Ossoff and Warnock in there, but we'll replace some of those others in other states.
Right.
But if we hold strong, we have a tendency to forget really, really.
Yeah, let's
quickly,
not forget.
Really, really quickly. Dr. King talked about 10-day folks. He was saying that after 10 days, we forget about it. And people are counting on that we will forget. But let's not do that. Let's make sure that we always remember what the goal is and that there are people actively working. There are people locally actively working to try and make sure that you have no power.
Exactly.
That you have no say-so in your government. And time after time after time, we played right on into it. But there is hope.
There is hope, and I think everybody should make a pledge. I have voted in every election since I was legally able to vote. I don't care if that was for dog catcher.
Right.
I was there to cast my vote.
Right.
And quite frankly, I get frustrated with people who say they don't vote. I get more than frustrated because I just turn around and walk away because I can't help you.
Oh yeah,
I can't help you. If you can't help yourself,
I don't want to fight with folks. So
if I don't have to if I have to explain to you why it's important to vote,
exactly
how many people gave their blood and sweat and tears and lives to get you able to vote.
Yeah,
if I got to explain that to you, you're through.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And there is an active attempt on the local level, on the state level, and certainly on the national level to keep Black and brown and anybody else who's
young people,
tan,
Asians,
whatever, the beige folks, all of them, and young people.
And here's the reason. The reason they're doing this is because they lack ideas. They don't want to come and actually put together some policies that might attract younger people, attract people of color. They'd rather write these stupid laws that suppress the vote and then put in a little trick bag that even if we don't succeed in suppressing the vote, we'll be able to take it back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We want you to call in if you've got some ideas, you've got some questions. We have our own Charles E. Richardson here, and we're just really excited that he was able to be with us not 1 week, but 2 weeks, and we're just very fortunate. He has a wealth of information and study that he's done on so many topics, and we are just delighted that he was able to come on the show. What are you doing now?
I'm the artist in residence at Middle Georgia State University. In the School of Education.
Now, what do that mean?
I have no idea, and I don't think I should explain it to them. Just keep sending the check.
You got to.
I think what it is what I help the School of Education do, and you're very familiar with schools of education because you were a teacher for such a long time, is I help them make connections in the community to hopefully get some more teacher candidates in there, really looking for Black males. And we've got some programs, and the other thing is that Middle Georgia State University is the least expensive school in the university system of Georgia.
Oh yeah. I did my first 2 years when it was Macon Junior College, right out of high school. I'm not telling you how long that's been a while, but right out of high school, Miller Senior High School. I went to Macon Junior College. Herbert Denard was out there. Herbert tries to say that we're the same age. We're not.
No,
Herbert's older. Herbert had been in the military and had come back, and then had come to school. But Herbert was there at Macon Junior College, and we formed the Black Student Unification organization that is still in force out there, from what I understand. And a few years ago, we were privileged to be invited back to talk about how we started it and and everything. But
looks a little different now, doesn't
it? It does. That campus now is a 4-year school and offering all kinds of degrees and areas of focus. And we strongly urge our graduates to attend there. And it is less expensive than so many others for the quality
Right.
that you get. It's a quality. They're quality
Quality
programs.
school. Quality
Yeah,
school.
yeah. So we're glad you're there, because for a while they didn't have too many folks of color.
We're all over the place now.
Yeah, you can imagine when I was out
when you
there.
were there.
I'm trying to think if we. I remember I was selected one of the incoming Black students to be a sort of a guide or welcomer, and me along with Sophia Simmons, who was an incoming freshman. We stood there and greeted everybody as they came in, and then we were to encourage other Blacks to attend Macon Junior College, and I think we were successful in getting a few more to attend. But those were the days. But that is a beautiful campus. They've been able to get housing, get the dorms, the apartment complexes out there. How many people actually live on the campus?
The new dorm has a little over 200.
Oh,
and
goodness.
The apartments across the street is a little over 200.
And Macon Bibb got involved and used some SPLOST money to help with some sidewalks and some of the
centers coming up as we speak.
Yeah,
the entrance of the school is really going to shift to that site.
Yeah,
so it's growing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That camp Macon is just uniquely located, the center of the state.
Right.
Everybody likes traveling halfway. They don't want to go to Atlanta unless they have to. People coming from Savannah can stop. They don't have to go all the way on up. And from every part of the state, they can come to Macon. We have institutions of higher learning. We have Mercer.
We got Mercer, Wesleyan.
We have Wesleyan. And Wesleyan has some unique programs. I gotta have somebody from out there on to talk about the unique programs that they have that cater to students who might not be thinking about school, and some others for extension of their learning. So Wesleyan, then you've got Middle Georgia State. And then right down the road, you've got Fort Valley State, and right up the road, you've got
Central Georgia Technical College,
and the school in Milledgeville,
Georgia College and State University.
So, I mean, gosh,
there's no reason for you not to continue your education if you need to.
No,
because it's inexpensive. There are a lot of scholarships out there, and if I had all this to do over again, I think I would. If I grew up in California, but if they had a Central Georgia Technical College, I'd have been a welder. Because you can come out of Central Georgia making real big money.
Oh yeah.
And then the sky's the limit. You can go anywhere in the world and work and make good money. And when I say good money, I'm talking about just graduating about $40,000 a year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it goes up from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and speaking about that, in Savannah, there is a market for welders there, because in building the structures there that remove the goods from the ships, they have to have the cranes, and they are actively recruiting for welders all the time.
My brother was a welder when he was still working, but he could weld underwater.
Oh,
and he actually went to Vietnam as an underwater welder. I don't know how you do that, but I know he did it.
For those of you who haven't decided what you'd like to do, for those who are still in high school, or who parents have younger folks in high school who are trying to decide, I would encourage you to go to GeorgiaFutures.com. Georgia Futures, GAFutures.com. We recommend that to all of our students at EL High School, and we tell them, go in there. That is a site that is free to all Georgia residents. It is sponsored by our State Department of Education. And as I said, you are entitled as a taxpayer, as a citizen of Georgia, to a free account. And so if you'll go to georgiafutures.org, you can set up a free account. And let me tell you what's in this site. You can go in there and do a survey. Do a little survey that will narrow down for you the careers that you might be most interested in. It'll narrow it down to say 100, and then you put in some more little information about yourself. It'll narrow it down a little bit more, but it's gafutures.org. And every citizen in the state of Georgia, your tax money pays for that site. Then if you want to find out about a particular career, even the military, if you want to go in, it will give you all of the latest, most current information about those careers, salaries, where the jobs are, whether that career is going to last a long time or whether it's just going to fizzle out. Healthcare. It has all of those fields in there, and it tells you what the salaries are, what the training is that you have to go through. It tells you whether you have to go to college for 4 years or more. And it also tells you whether there's an area that you might not have to go to college. You could go for 18 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. So if you don't want to go to college for 4 years, if that's going to be a waste of several years, you can go to a shorter program. Central Georgia Tech and some of the other community colleges offer a shorter term program, and then you get out and you go on and go to work. The school, Georgia Military in Warner Robins, offers a program where they train people to go to work on the base. You can go through that. I think it's like 18 months or 2 years. And I hope that they still have that program in place. But there are a number of people who graduated from our program and other high schools who went to Georgia Military in Warner Robins. They took that course and they went to work on the base. And I believe the starting salary was either 40 or 60,000 because it was working on aircraft or something. So there's so many opportunities. There's no excuse for anybody not having a job. And we got to stop talking about they're doing this to us, they're doing that to us. They're doing it. They're doing it, but you're compounding it by allowing that, by giving them a pass on kicking you out of school, by giving them a pass by smoking pot every day, and you because it is still illegal.
Don't give them an excuse to mess with you.
Exactly. And parents have to just get tough with kids and make sure that they understand that there's a lot expected of them. They're going to be the leaders of the future. So what you going to do?
They're either going to be the leaders of the future or they're going to let things happen to them instead of making it happen for themselves. And another thing I'd like to tell any kid that is in high school now, we have a dual enrollment program in this state. You can get college credits while you're in high school. And what that does, we've got kids that are graduating from high school and graduating with a 2-year certificate already. They've already done 2 years of college. That means 2 more years and they're done.
They're done. That's right.
And it's free.
That's right. That's right. I want to congratulate our valedictorians and our salutatorians. They were invited last week, I believe, up to the governor's mansion, and they were treated to lunch, they and their parents. It was quite an experience. And so I want to salute all of them for their achievement. And one way of making sure that you have a full ride to college, because they will pay you to come to school.
They certainly will.
They will pay you for all kinds of skills, even cheerleading and tumbling and all of that stuff. So what you have to do is find out what you're good at, what you're interested in, go for it as strongly as you can, and then you can achieve, and then that you will be rewarded by being invited to come and be on our band, come and be on our cheer squad, our gymnastics squad, all of that. All of that's out there.
That's right. Just waiting
for you. And for those who are a little older who think that their time has passed on by, don't think that.
No, never too late.
You can always go back and do something. There are people who went to work and they wanted to teach. And so they went back to school. Bert Bivens did it. Bert worked on base and then he retired from the base. And then he became a member of the commission. And then he went back to school to Fort Valley State and got his degree in education and taught in the school system for a number of years.
I wouldn't recommend waiting until you're my age to do that. But just in case you are, people don't know that you can go to school at any university that's state run for free.
Ooh.
When you're 65 or older,
65 or older,
you can go back to school for free.
Look, y'all, I know it's a lot of folks out there 65 and older. And would you say that again?
If you're 65 and older, you can go to any state school, including the University of Georgia, for free.
Free.
That's FREE. Free.
Yeah.
No tuition.
I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know that. You know it now. So for those who, and I know a lot of people who are just forever students. They just love learning, and everybody should love learning of one thing or another. So that's another opportunity for you. We hope that there's been something that we've shared with you today as far as education that will help you, will light that spark in you so that you will then say, oh my goodness. And another thing I want to mention to people today is the library. Our library system is one of the best that you could ever have. Our libraries, our branch libraries, and we were able to put some money in the SPLOST to upgrade the Shirling library. So you're going to see some upgrades over on the east side as far as Shirling library is concerned. But the main library, the Washington Library, has the latest in technology. They were teaching computer classes because we sent some of our students to take those computer classes as a part of their EL high school computer classes, and they did very, very well. Those classes lasted for like an hour or 90 minutes, and you could take intro to computers, you could take internet, you could take just all different kinds of courses, and they offered those free. They have, as I was talking about the latest technology, they also have books for the hearing impaired.
Right.
So there's just so much. And there's one other thing that I just found out about, and that is there is a lady there, Muriel Jackson.
Been there forever.
A Black lady. We're just proud. We're just proud of her. She's been there a long time. She is an expert in genealogy. She is an expert, and she actually applied for and received a grant that people could come in and sign up for a 2-hour slot. They could take their videos, old family videos and pictures and stuff, and have them transferred over to digital, and they could preserve these older pictures and films and things like that. I gotta have Muriel to come on and talk about what's available there. And just recently, someone mentioned the Board of Health. You know, we moved into a new building there on Forsyth Street, and they found some old scrapbooks and they have turned all that old information and minutes and things over to Muriel at the library. They're going to accept them and then put them into what they do as far as keeping them permanently, archive them, and then give a copy of all of that back to the health department for people to be able to go in and review. Now, I can't say enough about the library. All of these different things that people are sitting around talking about. There's nothing to do.
There's plenty
they
to do.
Can't do anything. You could go look up your family, find out how some of your family members looked, because they're pictures in a lot of cases. They've got some of the old slave records, the sales. Anyway, it's history. So all of those things are available here, and there's so many different things to do in this community.
One thing I found out the library had that came in very handy. My family comes from Arkansas. They have all of the land records from all 50 states. I could look up my family records in the library and see how the property changed hands.
Oh my!
And I never expected to run into that in Macon, Georgia. I thought I was have to go all the way back to Arkansas. But I can do it right here in town.
That library is it's just great. And we always we require our students to have a library card, so that makes them go and utilize the library, as well as their voter registration card. And we even give community service hours to those students for not only registering to vote, but for voting in each election. And then also we're giving community service credit for students who get vaccinated. Of course, we're going to be requiring it very soon. But for those who will go ahead and do it, our students, we are giving community service credit for them.
And I don't care if you're vaccine hesitant or not.
Yeah.
Elaine has gotten vaccinated. Yes. I've gotten vaccinated. I ain't grew a tail yet. Nothing like that has happened.
Nothing fell off.
My entire family's been vaccinated.
Yeah.
It is better to be vaccinated and not die than die and not be vaccinated.
That's right. And there's a new variant, Delta. And I would just be scared of getting any of this stuff. I lived through the terrible time with my husband, who was hospitalized not once but twice with it, and it brings about breathing problems and just all kinds of things. So you just don't want to get it. And we lost so many people. Everybody can call the name of somebody that we lost. And we just don't, we need to stop this. This is a way, this is something that we can stop.
Right.
And when they talk about herd immunity, they're talking about as many of you as possible get your vaccine in your body, and then it'll get to a point where people won't be passing it on to anybody. So we'll all be better off.
And if you go into a place that needs a mask, put on your mask.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Fist bump. Don't shake hands.
That's right.
We still got some crazy folk out there that ignore the science.
Yeah. Yeah. They're saying, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. What you going to wait? What you waiting for?
And a lot of those that said they were going to wait are waiting in the ground.
They're
waiting. They're waiting for the resurrection.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Plus, children, would you want to give the disease to your children? Would you want your elderly, sick relatives to get it from you when you could keep them from possibly getting it?
And it doesn't even. I swear, I'm sitting there. And she gave me the shot. I didn't even know it. It was
well,
painless.
my second one was like that. The first one, I felt it. I had a little soreness on on my arm. And then the second one, I had gotten it and I was just sitting there waiting for it, waiting to feel it. And
right there.
But anyway, call us. We've got a few more minutes. I know that some of you have questions, you have concerns, you have comments that you want to make. Our call-in number is 250-1444. So give us a call, and we want to thank all those who have tuned in. Ms. Newsom, Cersei, Rhonda Bird is there. Thank you. Marcy Pitts Thornton has a store in the Northeast Plaza Shopping Center. It's called More Thorns. And it is she sells home goods. She buys a lot of products from different companies, and she sells them at greatly reduced prices. She is one of my business neighbors in the Northeast Plaza Shopping Center, and she had her grand opening a few weeks ago, had the food truck and had music, Party Man, and all of the stuff, gave out free gifts. And I bought, I can tell you all that I bought. 2 purses, I bought candles, I bought a microfiber sheet set, I bought, what did I buy? Some jewelry. I just bought a lot of stuff. I got an air fryer. I bought all of that, and you would be surprised at the price. So y'all, please go and see her. She's on Sherling Drive in the Northeast Plaza Shopping Center, where Roses is located. Hey, we need to talk to her about being a sponsor of the program. Yeah.
And the more the reason we don't have more black businesses is because black folk don't shop at black businesses.
Yeah. We
gotta change that.
We think the water's not cold enough, that ice is not cold enough, or it's not going to be the same. But in most cases, it's better.
It's better, and you're dealing with your own people.
Yeah,
you are creating a legacy that will continue on.
That's right.
Your dollar bill should have a conscience.
That's right. That's right. It should stay home a little bit.
Stay home, because right now it doesn't make the trip around the block.
That's right. That's right. Now, in some communities, they spend with each other. And that money it circulates in that community a whole bunch of times. But ours, we get paid and we take it and we go everywhere.
Somebody else.
But within our community. And for those who are wanting to you've got an idea of a business you want to set up, or your business, you need some help with building your business. Macon-Bibb County has a small business development office. It's headed by Ms. Sharice Stevens. So what you need to do is to call and ask for the small business office. She will talk with you about some opportunities, possibly for some loans. There are very few grants anymore, but there are a few. So whatever you're qualified for, then she can tell you about that. There's also the University of Georgia Small Business office that's out Riverside Drive across from the new mall, and they it's from the state of Georgia, but it's handled through the University of Georgia, and they have free classes that you can take. When I started EL High School, I took some of those classes out there: how to start a business, how to fund your business, how to write a business plan. They've got all of those kinds of classes out there that are available. And then our small business office at Macon-Bibb County will have access to information and resources. And with $77 million coming in here from the Rescue Act for Macon-Bibb's government, and then $106 million to the school system, some of you businesses need to be in position to get some of those funds and provide services to the community. So y'all, just take it from us that there are opportunities out there, but you've got to step out. You've got to take advantage of it. And people don't give stuff away like they used to.
Not anymore.
You have to get loans now, but the interest rates are very, very low.
They also, Newtown Macon has a new program.
Newtown certainly
specifically
does.
for minority business people.
So
that's
they
another.
Sure do. They sure do. So if you missed any of that information, if you'll just call the City Hall and ask for the small business office, then you can get all of the information. And then community development has some funds, has a loan fund too. And I know why people are probably sitting there saying all of this is in place. I didn't know about that.
You know about it
because
now.
the information hadn't been disseminated like it should, but that's about to change. And so all of these things are out there available, and we want you to take advantage of it.
There's
Is that
no
the
excuse.
music?
I hear some music
That's
in the background.
Music. It says Ask Elaine. Thank you all who are on Facebook today. You're just wonderful to tune in. Please share this so that others can view it later on. Just to remind them that we were on today and there's lots of good information. Thank you to all of those who joined us at 980 AM and 107.9 FM. We just are grateful to all of you. Please be safe, get vaccinated, find out what's going on as far as your child and how you can get them caught up. Because a lot of children are going to be behind, and there's money, there are resources to get them caught up. So we want you to do all those things. You got your assignments for the week. And if you need to contact either one of us for additional information, you know how to get us. But in the meantime, thank you so much. We're here on The Glory. We appreciate being here. We'll see you again next Wednesday at 3 o'clock on either one of these stations on Facebook Live for another edition of Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, with our co-host, Mr. Charles Richardson. Thanking you for tuning in today, and thank you so very much. And please let these families who are grieving know that you're with them. It really does help. Y'all have a good rest of the week from Ask Elaine.
That went by quick.
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB.
Macon and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
All shucks. Heaven. I feel this thing. Let me see whether y'all feel it. I've been down for so long. I need Jesus to set me. Come on down to the front if you've been down for so long. Don't you need Jesus to set me? I want to say it again. I've been down for so long. I need Jesus to set me. Wish I could get a witness if you've been down. Oh yeah, for so long. I need Jesus to set. Come on, everybody. Unloose the shackle off my feet. Anybody want to unloose the shackle off my feet? Anybody over here want to loose the shackle off my feet? Shackles of disappointment. Loose the shackles off my feet. Shackles of sickness. Loose the shackles off my feet. Shackles of sadness. Loose the shackles off my feet. Now everybody clap those hands. Now somebody might be standing next to you, acting like they don't want